evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of our Salem by Night Chronicle. I'm the Ravenous Archon. My name is Will, and this is our story for tonight. We are following our Camarilla group. We are down one Nosferatu, so we are sorry, but we hope that your kids are doing better, Jesse. We opened up last episode with the coterie having learned the news of the police being worried about an arsonist being loose in the city. We jumped forward a week. And we got to see some of the contractors find Kathy in her chosen closet space of a home in Ivory's club. We got a nice little daytime interaction between some of the members of the coterie. And we got to see a little bit of how Billy reacts to social interactions. Karl awoke to a message from Billy about the meeting with the sheriff, as he had also heard that the first seat and the third seat had been emptied by the Tremere Primogen. Mr. Thompson is becoming more of a figure in Karl's life, I think, especially after the whole situation with the Marauder who's loose still in the city. And don't think I forgot about that guy. But we established that Karl told the coterie about the loss of the Primogen, and the sheriff was surprised that they were still in communications with Kathy, since all of the Nosferatu in the city had vanished, clearly except for Kathy. Since the Malkavian's estate was burned down, no one has heard from any of the Nosferatu. The sheriff did mention that he knows about Erickson Wood and Andreas Barker's use of arson to deal with their targets, so he figured this was one of their shenanigans gone awry. But they also learned that Thompson confirmed the Malkavian Primogen was killed alongside his ghouls. It was also revealed that they had met with the Primogen a week before, and so this Toreador and this Tremere might have been the last people to see the Malkavian Primogen live. The sheriff also revealed that he had heard about the Semitsi trying to resurrect the Black Hand, and were told that the Brujah Primogen was taken out by hunters and that the country club was burned down in the assault. And he also mentioned that it was something that belonged to Primogen Garter, and so some of his stuff has seen better days, it looks like. They also learned that Manny Garza was among the disappeared Nosferatu, but that they did see Manny with Melvin last week. Kathy tried to suss out if he was telling the truth, but learned that he was not lying, but he had something in his eyes that he was afraid to share, or that just didn't want to share. They learned that Hyde is playing this game close to the vest and hasn't really shared any of his plans with the people around him. And he also mentioned that the council was looking to promote the sheriff to becoming the Brujah Primogen, which he doesn't want. He also told him the last time he saw Tulip was more than a week ago, when she had heard about the husk of the last call bar being burnt down again. Kathy called Tulip, left a message mentioning trying to meet up at the first place they had met each other. And before leaving, he handed them a handwritten business card with information on how to reach the Free Souls should they need anything from them. As they made their way to an area that Kathy wanted to go to try to meet up with her sire, she pulled on the shadows, and she kind of started to stake out the place, and she came across a voice from her past. And after a bit of effort, she noticed that she was now being haunted by the ghost of her younger brother. Back in the car, Billy took a moment to himself to smoke a cigarette. All of them could see that there was a diner down the street. They could hear a cellist somewhere in the college grounds playing Beethoven. And then they heard a car pull up behind them. The Tremere Primogen stepped out of the car, asked to speak to Karl. He was verified that the Malkavian Primogen had been killed, in fact, and that he had tested some of the blood at the site of the estate, and he revealed that Teddy tested as a Semitsi. Also revealed that the sample that frightened him, however, belonged to one Sasha Vikos, and revealed that Teddy was the child of Vikos. And he also revealed that Aisling McGinty was embraced by Grant Reynolds' child. And so there's a lot of familial shenanigans going around in Salem right now. After the Tremere Primogen left, they all reconvened in Ivory's car. And Ivory's car, Karl, revealed that the Sasha Vikos was in the city and that it is a Semitzi of immense power. Karl revealed that Teddy was not a Nosferatu, but an actual Semitzi, which Kathy did not take very well. And in a bit of a tantrum, she got out of the car, she insulted the pair of them, and then immediately booked to try and make some distance. And we left off with a mild explosion of a tantrum forcing a separation in the group. And so this is where we'll pick up without Kathy, obviously, as she quickly makes her way into the shadows and vanishes. But it's good to see you guys again. It's been a while.
Yep. Hi. Look at this handsome devil.
I mean, not younger looking devil, at least. But we pick up right where we left off. Ivory tried to chase Kathy before she could get away from you. But there's just something about a angry child and a sudden burst of speed that just gives her a good kind of boost from you.
Yeah, it's the heels.
Yeah. Always slows you down.
You know, this is not Jurassic Park. Luckily, there was no T-Rexes to run away from. But you chase her into an alley. There's only darkness there to welcome you. And if you try to step into the alley, you will feel unusually cold. There is this almost barrier. It's not keeping you from pursuing, but it does feel like there is a miasma of just frigid air. It is weird because you haven't felt extremes like this before.
Sense the unseen?
I don't think that works with ghosts.
I don't know.
I think you definitely need oblivion.
I mean, they're definitely unseen.
They are unseen.
I thought it just mentioned something about ghosts.
Yeah. I think it does. But I know that oblivion gives you ghost sight for sure.
Yeah, I mean that's what they roll necromancy into.
Yeah. Whenever there's something supernatural hiding in plain sight. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay. Let's see what happens. Wits and aspects. What is your wits and aspects? Wits 2.
4 whole dice.
Wits 2, aspects 2. All right, and you got a hunger 1.
Yep.
Let's see.
I don't expect to get it because I'm not supposed to get her. So.
Well, yeah, you're not supposed to get her.
Yeah, I got 2 successes.
Yeah. There is a moment where you see an outline that looks to be running away from you, but the moment it stops to look back, it definitely is not Kathy. This looks a little frailer, a little thinner, a little more racked by sickness. There's an emaciated appearance to this person, and although there is a familial resemblance to Kathy from the little bits of her actual face that you've seen,
no, I've seen her whole face. She took her mask got taken off.
But there is some trauma there. But he does this creature does kind of like look in your direction. There is a moment where it takes notice of you, and then it actually just vanishes. Like completely and utterly turns to just nothing.
Does the cold go away?
It does, very slowly.
Would she realize that ghosts and cold go together? I mean, she has no cold, but
I mean, you grew up in a time where that is the perceived kind of hearth wisdom. So you could put two and two together very easily.
okay. Huh. So she will go back to the car.
So, Karl,
Yeah.
would you like to have used this time to have tested Kathy?
Oh yes,
Kathy's blood?
absolutely.
Okay.
Let's do this.
I'm not gonna make you roll for it.
Okay.
She is in fact Nosferatu, so that does absolve her, and it absolves Tulip from the Semitsi fear.
She's Tulip's child.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep. But once you're done, you see Ivory start making her way back to the car. Billy is already there. Doors open. Ma'am, anyone in particular?
Don't know yet. Drive around a little. We've probably been here too long.
Understood. He does start the car and go around.
She looks inquiringly
Oh, yeah.
at
I'll tell you.
Karl.
So yeah, she is who she says she is. She is in fact Nos.
Good to know.
Oh,
Let's keep it between us that you did that.
fair enough. Yeah, I would agree, especially considering the reaction.
Yeah. And did he clean up the blood that was on there?
Yeah, I would clean.
Okay.
Anything else that was left over? Are you going to submit?
I couldn't find her. Although I ran into a ghost. Maybe?
See?
Yeah, never done that before.
I mean, with the freaking week we've had, I honestly, why the hell not? I got things turning into roses and rubber guns over here at will. Apparently, one of those feared Zamitsi's in town, and there's Primogen dropping left and right. So
and
fun.
And the city's on fire.
And the city's on fire. It's just Tuesday, apparently.
Oh. All right. So is there anything else we want to do tonight?
I hate to bring it up, but we should test you just to be sure you're not under dominated. You are.
Anything to taste that blood.
He wasn't actually there when she said who she was.
He was not. This is an interesting bridge that needs to be built at some point, but he's that now.
Fine. And she'll hold out.
The embarrassment.
Yeah. She'll take her hat pin and prick her finger.
Okay.
Let's see how good you roll.
All right. Let us see.
He wouldn't. He wouldn't know who her sire is. So
no, we've never even discussed.
But it would solidify that you are Toreador.
Yes.
That's the important part.
So I take it the true marriage is going to start testing everybody in the city to see that they're the clan they say they are?
That's the idea. Especially when we have infiltrators, clearly.
Yep. Unfortunately, it's going to be a little slow going as far as getting the word out. Because the Nosferatu are gone.
Yeah, that is a problem. Our main information spreaders are missing.
Mhm.
All right. So, what's the difficulty again? 6? 3. Okay.
Yeah. You can
So,
verify
5 successes.
Yeah, you verify that she is in fact Toreador. Her sire is a Toreador, and the generation that Ivory is
Which is
10th.
Yeah. So you know about both of us.
Yep. You have blood sorcery? I'd give you the blood if that was that would help.
Well, I mean, you could just tell me.
Who my sire is? Sure. Oh, I am in fact Tremere. I mean, if you want to tell me if I'm lying or
Blood
not.
sorcery helps.
Yeah. Sorry, what's the brain doing at this point? That's all I care. Sorry, my brain is fried from children.
Does the sorcery give you the name of their sire?
I was just.
I think it does.
It does blood with a win. You can determine the resonance intensity. They can also divide whether or not you rule, blah, blah, blah. Tasting Vitae also determines the relative blood potency of the vampire and thus the likely generation band. So actually, I would only know your blood potency.
Oh.
Which is low.
A critical win also reveals whether the subject has ever committed diablerie, which it did not get, so it doesn't matter. And the generation within one of the vampire, the user also knows supernatural creature in question they can identify. So actually, no, nothing about the sire.
Oh.
Okay.
So,
well, same blood potency as you. You could imagine that she's within 10 to 12 generation.
Gotcha. That's fine.
You said between 1 and a range of 1, so 9th, 10th, and 11th.
Right.
The ranges that would make most sense.
Okay. I tell you my sire. I'll tell you later because it's in my background and I'm branding on the name right now.
Well, if you didn't get that information, then
right. But I would, just to let you know, as a show of trust. Not that I would have not. If I hadn't told you, it's probably because it just didn't come.
Yeah, and this is something that Kathy knows about me. Which, if signs of trust and my interest in this city. Geraldine was my grandsire.
Okay. Fair.
And that's why I'm interested in what happened to her.
I would be too. Makes sense. Oh, would I have gotten Kathy's blood potency?
Yeah. I believe it's also 1, just like you. Oh, you can put her down between 10th, 11th, and 12th gen.
That I won't write down in the game. Yes.
Yeah.
So that's clear. I'm not making notes on my coterie so that someone can find it fucking later. Oh.
You're not pulling a Batman.
No, I don't. In fact, want to recreate the Doom scenario. Oh.
Okay. Noted.
That's what a good brain is for.
Yeah. I feel like we all got just thrown into this and we don't have any kind of knowledge about each other. This seems so strange. Is this the way it usually works?
To be honest, I've worked mostly either in the pyramid or by myself for a very long time. So I haven't had much coterie
Same.
experience.
I've been pretty much by myself also. So this seems a very strange situation to me.
Is Karl part of the pyramid? I thought he was Karna.
No, now he's Karna.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember the split just happened not too long ago.
Yeah.
So.
Gotcha.
Yes, the Tremere split, right?
Yeah, after the
Vienna.
Yeah, after the Inquisition pretty much took out Vienna, the pyramid just came tumbling down, left us on our own. Now they expect us, after leaving us to the mercy of the Inquisitors and all that, they want us to. Some of them want us to march back in lockstep.
Yeah,
that's not happening.
There's three factions, right? Those that want to reestablish the pyramid, Karna, and then Goratrix's tribe.
Yeah. Essentially, what was the Tremere anti-tribute Goratrix. Oh. But,
I see.
Apparently, there are more Goratrix now, or more Goratrix acolytes now than there were in, say, I don't know, prior versions of reality.
So, are the rumors true? Were you all bloodbound?
Technically, yeah. At least one step, like partially. So the pyramid. I mean, it was a lot of theater for the everybody else. So, aka like the guys in Vienna. Yeah, technically they. It was like a big corp. It's not too wrong from a corporation where like the CEO hanging in Vienna with his VPs. And then everything filtered down through that. But yes, technically we could be hauled to Vienna, and we would have little choice about it via the compulsion in our blood. But that is
interesting.
Not around anymore.
I bet that was an interesting feeling.
That was a very interesting feeling.
Yeah, the Toreadors just get together in Paris and have a big party. So.
Yeah, I mean,
invitation only.
I understand why it was necessary, and from the histories of what my clan went through when they first claimed the blood, but it's definitely not with our anybody who's been born in the last 2 centuries really chased our ass. So
you're not interested in going back to the pyramid?
Not really. Karna is showing us a different way of doing things. She is a much better leader than I think the old guard were. Especially now that they've lost their most powerful members, I don't see a purpose. They're not exactly offering benefits. The prior benefit package is not even there to make up for the cost. It's like a job firing you and then wanting to hire you back, at half the pay. No thanks, I'm good.
What a pyramid scheme.
Right?
All right, then. Well, all right. So what are we supposed to be following up on now where you have so many threads? I am...
It's been a hell of a thing.
Yep.
I mean, we were going to track down the Nos, but our Nos disappeared, so...
I mean, it's been has it been a week yet since I even sent that letter to my fellow Tremere in
Portland?
Portland. I keep wanting to say Seattle.
Yeah.
So have we heard back?
Not yet. Not as of yet.
Okay. Fucking mail. All right. So that's
faster to go there.
I know, right? Probably could have already been there and back. Fucking no. But all right. Some people want to do things the old-fashioned way. Yeah. It happens when you're 1,000. I don't know if it's 1,000. If you're from the old school. And so it's been a week. Have we heard anything of any new rumors about the location of Belvin and the lot?
Excuse me. The funny thing is that when all of the Nosferatu disappeared, there is no information coming in and out. the prince has put what's his name? There he is. Antoine Malcolm Davies in charge of what was the Last Call bar. And so he is in the position of being the gatekeeper of information going in and out of and coming out of West Salem.
Okay.
He's a Toreador, so he's not as good.
I haven't actually met him.
He's not as good as a Nosferatu at getting information. But he has been put in charge of like getting what was the Last Call bar back into a productive state of being. And although it is Garter's domain, like it falls in Garter's domain, and it is his building, he's put Davis in charge. But as of right now, they've just restarted construction. Someone, set a car on fire in the middle of their establishment, so that kind of pushed it back a bit. But as of right now, nobody has found who that was.
Do I know how to get a hold of Davies?
Oh yeah, you probably have his phone number.
Okay.
He is also the owner of a small art gallery in just off of the strip. Though it's open late. It's not open this late, but you could swing by. It's not too far from the Albatross where Marcus is, so you might be able to talk to him.
That was my other.
I think you wanted to talk to him.
Yeah, that was going to be my next suggestion. Was talk to Marcus. As the only other like kind of info broker that we've had like dealings with so far.
What info are we looking for now?
Well, last we were still trying to find Melvin and remember all threads keep pointing to him and his group doing.
Yeah, but the Nos have disappeared, I assume.
Right, and that's why we're trying to find the threads that they all dropped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last thing that you knew was that Melvin was running around with Erickson Wood and Andreas Barker, which is why the sheriff gave you a way to reach the Free Souls, because Andreas Barker runs with them.
Right.
Right.
Did we ever actually reach out to them?
You have not.
Okay. So we should reach out to them as well. Do that first, because that's just a phone call, I imagine.
That's true, and we have a phone.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I will let you do the talking because I don't think I'm nearly as good.
You don't think you're good?
Not exactly my forte, but I can probably figure it out. And she'll I don't know who took the card, but she'll dial the number.
You find a payphone. Billy pulls over.
I don't need a payphone. I have a phone in my car.
You are correct. I forget. I'm used to playing Portlands, so you dial the number. After a moment, you hear a gruff voice. Yeah, what can I do for you?
Hello. This is Ivory Larson. I was given your number by Green.
Ah, all right. So you want to get in contact with Andy?
Yes, please.
All right. What is a good number for him to reach you at?
And she'll give the number for the car.
Okay. When you get some time, he'll give you a call.
Sounds good. Thank you very much.
I like how you hold the phone, by the way, because you look at how modern kids hold the phone. Like I've seen them do it. They do this, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, God damn it, I'm so old because I would do this.
Yep.
I'm holding on to it.
Yeah. I think I still do that too.
I was a teenager in the 80s, so
yeah.
you know,
my
I did a lot of phone.
I literally, I don't think I got my first cell until like 2000. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
The,
Still remember beepers.
Right?
Mhm.
What's so sad is I used to have all my friends' numbers, all the beeper codes, everything up here.
Up here.
And now, like, if you ask
Now
me,
it's all in here.
if you ask me what my sister's phone number was, I couldn't tell you what my sister's phone number was. No fucking idea.
I know my
305
husband's
something.
and mine.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
it.
I know mine.
I know,
Yeah, I know mine.
I know mine and my wife's, and that's about it. Because I used to know my parents' number, but they moved, so it doesn't even matter anymore.
Doesn't matter.
I don't
anymore,
even
yeah.
know my kids. I have to look them up.
Yeah. I remember 143 and 823. That's what I remember.
Yeah. I remember 707.
Yeah.
Yeah.
LOL.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So do we want to head down to the main drag
Yeah, let's go.
and go to the Albatross?
Yeah.
Right.
That's very fun.
You pull up to the Albatross. It looks like it's winding down. There's a band that is breaking down currently, and on the drum, the big kind of kick drum, you can see what looks like a dead raven, and it says "Not Edgar Allan Poe's wife" as the band name.
Okay.
But you see that Marcus sees you coming in and immediately comes out from behind the bar, throws his rag to the bartender that's there, and pulls out a cigarette and immediately just kind of like starts to shove you outside. And he's just like, thank you for this break.
You mean you're not in love with this band?
No.
Is this the same band that was awful the last time?
No, this is a completely different awful band.
Okay, good.
Why do you keep hiring awful bands?
They're cheap, and I keep just going for the name. The name is what really does me in, I think. If they gotta catch a name, I'm gonna hire you. I think I'm gonna have to start not looking at the names when I
There's something about books and covers.
Oh no. This was a completely original band. I regret every minute of the 2-hour set that they played.
Not even a cover song, huh?
No. I could have dealt with some cover songs tonight, but
and she's probably already looking for bands and stuff for hers.
Yeah.
And she's like, I've run into some that won't work for mine, but I can toss them your way.
I
They're
would
better.
love that. I can tell you what bands to stay the fuck away from if you want to. I'll do you that courtesy.
Start some
that would be a great help in not wasting my time. Thank you.
All right. So what do I owe this distinctive honor?
Well,
bits as I've seen you around my neck.
It's true.
A little bit.
It's been a bit hectic, as I'm sure you've noticed.
It's been quite the week.
I've heard some things.
Yeah.
Anything of interest?
I mean, where do your interests lie? So I know how to narrow down.
Evidently everywhere.
Yeah, we are a bit scattered at the moment in focus. But right now we're mostly looking for Melvin and his gang. Though we might have a thing on, a lead on that. We're waiting for a phone call. But wanted to see if you'd heard anything about the disappearance of the Nos and where they might have gone.
I will warn you. Melvin is not in a position right now to be found. Last I heard and last I saw, he is on a warpath. And so it might be better to let things cool down until it runs its course. But he's prepping for what feels like a war with somebody.
Do we know who that somebody is? And so we should stay the hell away from them?
That I cannot help you with, unfortunately. He's kept that close to the chest. And unfortunately, I've tried to wring the information out of Erickson and Andreas, but they seem to be rather loyal to the old Nosferatu.
I thought
Right.
Melvin was Camarilla, and aren't they Anarch?
Things are looking a little different these nights from what I've come to understand. But, you know, all the Nosferatu are currently considered anarchs in the city, so
That's what we heard. That seemed rather quick and fast. Fresh.
I was not privy to their conversation, but from what I have understood, it was a preservative maneuver.
Well,
All right.
have you heard anything regarding the deaths of the primogens?
I have heard that everybody's up in arms, and there's a whole new litany of defensive kind of bridges and hurdles that have to be crossed and jumped so you can meet with a primogen face to face, since all of them are now on the defensive. But what I can tell you is that that line of bullshit that Sheriff Green is feeding everybody about the hunters taking out McGinty is fucking complete and utter lies.
How's that?
Which one was that?
The Bruja primogen?
Yeah.
Right. That we actually know it was the Baron, right?
Did we find that out?
Yeah, we have a picture or something showing.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry. Well, I'm not going to act like I know that. So.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna give him information for free.
Well, yeah, I don't know if he's fucking part of it. I'm just, we're information gathering.
Fair.
Yep.
If it comes to it.
Have the
right now, I like him. I just want to see
have the Kuai done anything? I mean, with the Orpheus blowing up, that seems like they might be upset.
From what I've come to understand, they were going to do something, and then they got wind of the situation going on and have as such kind of taken a step back to reassess the situation. That I know of, they are looking to get rid of the Orpheus, as it is no longer in their benefit. But I also heard that things up in Portland have gotten a little dicey for them, and so they might be
focusing there.
Shoring up, as it was, sandbagging.
Yeah, consolidating. Okay.
I mean, technically, that was what we were supposed to initially investigate, but yeah.
So, do you know what happened in Portland that is making them pull back? Or
I heard that somebody stuck a stick in the hornet's nest and rattled it around a bit. One of their main establishments up there is a casino hall. Got shot up to shit, blown up. That's how.
the property seems to be exploding.
It is a bad day. It is a bad time period to be a property in somebody's portfolio.
Yeah, she is up security.
Bob sniffing dogs clearly is necessary.
I'm fortunate that I'm on the strip, so I'm in a good position to not have to worry about loose cannons, as it were. And
well,
so
wasn't there a fire across the street?
Isolated, yes, but it wasn't a bombing. It wasn't an explosion.
Fair.
Yeah, they seem much more measured in the fire.
Anything more on that or the hunters?
Well, from what I understood, Hyde is looking to sell off some of his properties for just the quick monetary gains. So I think something's up, and he's trying to build as much of a defensive wall as he can.
Interesting.
Liquidating his assets so it's not as vulnerable. Yeah, that makes sense.
Hmm.
Oh,
From what I've
fair.
come to understand, I think this is standard practice when Ventrue go to war with each other.
Doesn't surprise me.
So you think Hyde and Otis are going to be going to war?
Oh, that's definitely in the cards.
Hmm.
But you heard the incredibly bad news that a certain very powerful Zavitsi is running around loose.
Is a Samitsi running around?
Oh, you haven't heard that one.
I have not heard that one.
Well, obviously, due consideration for what you've always been giving us. Yes. I can confirm that what Zavitsi, known as Sasha Vikos, is running around. She is somewhere in our vicinity.
Not to mention, we have run into other Shemitzi.
Yes, we have also run into other Zavitsi, including one who was it Reynolds' child?
No.
It was the Gregory.
That is a scary name to be dropping around here.
Yes.
As far as I understood, there was only one Samitsi in the city, and that was Linda Jacoby.
Well, she's not one of the ones we've run into.
Right. Yeah, no, she's an interesting person. The first few times I've met her, but there's definitely something off about her. And I don't know if it's a Samitsi thing or what. But I tend to keep our interactions short and sweet. But Sasha Vikos is that's a boogeyman.
Yes. Very scary. Like truly amongst the top tier psychopaths that I've ever heard about.
Mm-hmm.
So there was before the Alcavian Primogen was taken down, he captured Zamitsi, who was claiming to be Tremere.
No, was he claiming to be Tremere?
Yeah, first.
Yeah, that's right.
And then we tested his blood and found not only was it not Tremere, it was the Burner. Oh, and Chewy, I just remembered. It's not the blood tasting one. It's the ritual that grants the Sire.
Okay.
Right.
I just remembered it. Just kicked.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Which we can do later. We'll figure that shit out later. So yeah, it was Werner Hertzfeld is what I have written down. Was that guy's Sire's name?
If you say that out loud, he will be like, "Well, that's a name I've heard of recently." It seems that our friend Mr. Reynolds has put out a bounty on Mr. Hertzfeld.
Oh, really?
Interesting.
If anybody can bring him Hertzfeld, they might consider themselves blessed by our future Baron. If you catch
interesting, since he's former Sabbat, and aren't the Shemitzi usually Sabbat?
Yep.
Correct.
They are one of the two founding clans for sure.
Yeah. So we do not need that chaos in this city. We already have enough.
Yeah, really.
Word on the street
with our own shit.
Yeah, word on the street is that Hertzfeld did something to betray Mr. Reynolds' trust. What that is, I cannot say.
He was trusting a member of the Sabbat? Interesting.
I mean, from what I've understood, Reynolds was a Sabbat Templar.
Yes, that's what I mean. And does that mean he's still?
I don't know. The last time that he showed up in my establishment, Melvin, Andreas, and Mr. Wood were around. And luckily, I haven't seen them in a good age, so I have not been blessed by danger stepping into my doorway.
So they've spoken with him.
They have. They are on what I can only call friendly terms.
So anyway, why I bring that up is not obviously to just scare with Vikos' name,
right?
But we've had several we've run into several infiltrators that can disguise themselves because the powers of the Zaviti wield, messing with their flesh. So they are around and infiltrating. So keep a wary eye, kind of thing.
Good.
And if you need anybody verified, we can work on that through my powers.
Well, I think that given the way everybody treats me, that we all are fine with me accepting that my position in life is what it is.
No, I was more referring if you need, like, just you suspected somebody.
Oh,
kind of thing.
I try not to involve myself in people's lives that far. Given the way that I've been treated in the past, I kind of keep everybody at an arm's distance. This is the most interaction I've had with anybody except for, Melvin and his crew. Most people
Well, you've been a great source of information for us and a good friend.
Amazing help in our trials so far.
Most people don't deign to slum it up, come down into my neck of the woods. So, but going back to your question about the flaming pit of a husk that's over there across the street, I put that up for sale. So if you're looking to expand, Miss Lawson. Here has an interesting basement.
Yes. It might.
I wouldn't know.
No, you wouldn't.
What? So weird. I didn't know they had basements.
Are we talking about using a player's flaws against them? Who would do that?
We'll do that.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
Oh, probably.
Yeah, at the moment, I can't think of anything else. But thank you. It's been a good talk. Good talk.
I forget. Do either of you drink? Do you need a drink?
I mean, do you have the
I'm good for now.
And I mean, like an actual liquor drink. A drink.
I don't know. Did I take that?
I could take a shot. I have the iron stomach.
You have eat food?
Yeah, I think so. I remember correctly. Let me double check.
I don't remember if I took it. Did I take it?
Iron gullet, yeah.
Oh, iron gullet doesn't let you drink.
I thought that was the point.
No,
I thought it let you eat food.
No, eat food lets you eat food and drink.
Iron gullet do?
I think iron gullet lets you drink dead blood. Off the top of my head.
All right. Not gullety. Goddamn mistake.
Gullety. What a last name.
Yeah, I don't have it, so she just fakes it really well.
Yeah, never mind.
Yep.
I don't know why I had thought of the other way. Never mind.
It's all right.
Yeah, so no. Unfortunately, it would just end up messy.
Understood.
And I wouldn't want to waste such fine vintages.
Appreciate the thought.
Yes.
Of course. And you see him flick the rest of what's left of his cigarette out into the street. All right. Well, you know where to find me.
And I'll be sending a few people your way.
Much appreciated. And he tips his imaginary hat and walks inside.
All right. So maybe we should go out finding Melvin the long way for the moment. He's that mad and stuff.
Yeah, it sounds like he's in it.
not necessarily going, hi, we've never met, but we've been looking for you.
He seems to have all the answers.
He does, but I also don't want to run into a very mad vampire.
Yeah. I mean, we could try Davies, but I don't have a rapport with him. I've never met him.
Worst comes to worst, he tells us to go fuck ourselves.
Well, I doubt he'd do that exactly. Right. He is Toreador.
Right. Well, I mean, in the nicest of ways.
In the nicest possible way.
Yeah.
You would.
So, yeah, that's what I'm wondering. All right.
I don't know.
Might as well try.
Okay.
We got nothing else right now.
So, since it's in the same area, can we get into the art gallery or?
So
the
knock Blooming, on the the Blooming Rose Gallery, as it's called, is currently closed as far as like people are concerned. But you do see that there are 2 gentlemen and a young lady that are kind of back in the corner talking. Like the lights are on, the artwork lights themselves are off, so like the spotlights are off, but like the work lights are on in the gallery, so you can clearly see them like between the openings of different kind of hanging walls. Like this, excuse me, this is a gallery that doesn't actually have walls. Like it is just a rectangle of a storefront, and all the walls where the art is hung or standing in front of, if it's like something on a pillar, on like a dais, all the walls have been held up on tracks, so it looks like it can be very modular for different art installations. And right now they're all kind of angled, so that you can have a clear line of sight down the length of the building. And in the back, you can see the 2 gentlemen and the young lady. Like I said, one of them looks to be dressed like an old West banker, like gray shale jacket, vest, white shirt, the bow tie, gray pants, nice kind of leather shoes. The other gentleman looks to be a little bit more modern in his silhouette. Same kind of white shirt, no tie. The first 2 buttons are undone. The vest looks to be very kind of intricate pattern. Like as the light catches some of it, you can see that there's like some kind of glittery threading going through it. Blue jeans and very nice shoes, and the young lady looks to be in like a pencil skirt, a dress shirt, a jacket, and she is holding a legal pad and writing down whatever they're talking about.
Okay. All right. And she'll knock on the door.
The more modern silhouette looks in your direction and holds up his finger. The other older silhouette gentleman kind of looks in your direction, and you immediately recognize him as Wesley Ian Garter. This is the Toreador Primogen. The young girl you've never met before. But they finish whatever they're doing, and immediately you see the young girl and Mr. Garter kind of stay behind as Mr. Davies starts coming towards the front door. You see him shifting some of the panels so that they start to block off the 2 of them in the back.
Okay.
Comes up to the door, opens it. Yes, how can I be of service to the 2 of you?
Mr. Davies, I don't think we've met yet. Ivory Larson.
Ah, yes. I've been meaning to come by your establishment. I was hoping to take a look at it, but I understood that it's not open to the public yet.
Not quite, but I could give you a tour.
I would love that. How can I be of service?
And she'll hand him a card that's her business card. Just give me a call anytime you'd like to come over.
Perfect. And he runs over to the desk and kind of pulls a card for the gallery and comes back and hands one to each of you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, of course.
I was wondering if we could speak about some delicate matters.
Sure. There is an apartment that I have across the street. Will that do, or would you like somewhere more formal?
I think that would be fine.
Perfect.
As she looks at Karl.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm Karl, by the way.
Oh, and he
Yes,
extends
this
his
is
hand
my
out.
associate.
Antoine Malcolm Davies. Nice to meet you. But he says, you'll lock up, yes, Stephanie? And you hear the young girl, yes, that's not an issue. Excellent. And he steps out. He closes the front door, locks it, and then takes you across the street. There is what looks to have been a restaurant at some point, which has a for sale sign on it. There's a one of those like industrial, what's it called, real estate agencies sign outside. But he takes you around the side alley and up to the second floor, or what is the third floor of this establishment, and the whole floor is like a penthouse apartment. And he goes, "I hope you don't mind. This is the kind of establishment that I stay at once it's gotten too late for myself. It's my little slum, as it were."
We all have to do that sometimes.
Of course.
Oh, at least you're prepared, just in case.
Yeah.
Always a good thing.
Oh, please. And he motions to one of the two couches that's set up in like a kind of H formation, with a coffee table in between. From the looks of it, seeing as Ivory has had to look at furniture for the bar that she's opening, these couches looks like one of the few that you were looking at for your establishment, but these look to be like $15,000-$20,000 couches.
Damn. Karl doesn't even know if you should sit on it.
She
yeah,
will.
No. Yeah, the moment you sit on it, you sink into it, and it just feels like it hugs your frame.
Yeah, she will sit as only a Toreador can.
Sure.
And he does the same thing. It looks like he's incredibly comfortable, but you also know, given the world that you come from, that this is a man that is poised to jump into action.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry I've been here so long and I haven't had a chance to meet you yet.
Oh, please, no. I should be the one that apologized. I've been meaning to make my presence known, and just that we've been so stacked against everything that's going on in the city. It feels like it's myself and Mr. Garter. We're being personally attacked by whoever is out there striking against the corporation, and it's just been one mess after another. But I do apologize for that. Plan should mean more than just lip service.
Appreciated. And I am concerned. I mean, I am starting my own property and all these fires and such. This does have me concerned.
From what I've understood, you have not been involved in anything of the politics that are happening in the city, so I think for the most part you should be fine moving forward.
Is there anything I should stay away from?
I mean, it has come to my attention that dealing with Andreas Barker, Erickson Wood, or Melvin Wright puts you on the wrong side of the chaos that seems to be swirling around the city.
Oh, really? I had heard that Melvin was an upstanding member of the Camarilla.
That could have been the point at some time, but as of late, I don't know what has turned him against certain members of our esteemed tower. But that I've seen personally, I know that he has um, tried to ruin Mr. Garter's working relationships.
How so?
I'm unfortunately not allowed to speak on those subject matters as I'm attached to them financially, and so I'd rather save you from having to appear on this man's radar if I can save you the burden.
Appreciated, of course.
Of course. I would hate for some trouble to befall your establishment before it's opened.
Yes, me too. I have upped security just in case, but
Good.
with all the fires.
Good.
But since we're going to be evidently having the Elysium at my establishment,
I heard.
I
Excited.
am a little concerned about that because that is politics.
That is I don't think that anyone will do anything as far as Elysiums are concerned. There's only ever been the one Elysium that has ever had its rules broken, as far as I've been concerned here in the city. And unfortunately,
Where is that?
That was at the country club the night we lost.
Yes. Ah, yes. That sounds like it was a terrible night.
It was terrifying, to say the least.
Were you there?
I was. I was there. Mr. Garter was there. It was at his country club, of course. And I believe Melvin, Andreas, and Erickson were all in attendance,
Oh, really?
thus pushing more concrete. No, I wouldn't say evidence, but definitely more of a stable bridge to leading to them being responsible for some of the trouble that has befallen the city as of late.
Do you think they were involved in what happened to Geraldine?
I don't know if they were involved. I know they were there. I know that some rumors have claimed that Melvin is in talks with Mr. Reynolds. At least they have some kind of friendly rapport with each other. So I don't know what that means for the rest of us.
That could be concerning.
Hmm.
So I'm going to use insight and see if he's like
Ooh,
padding this and trying to, you know what I mean?
sure.
Okay. I get to add my aspects to that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And is it wits or I mean, what roll?
I think let's go with this is supposed to be your bread and butter.
Manipulation, maybe? Or
I think composure.
composure? Okay.
Yeah. Composure and insight. Because you're not manipulating him. You're trying to.
That's true. Not exactly.
Yeah.
And so what? That is 6 dice? 7 dice. 7 dice.
Yep. Dice roll. 1 hunger, so it's not terrible.
Nope. I got a 6 on my hunger. And 4 more successes.
5 successes total.
Yep.
Very nice. He is definitely hiding something, but for the
Okay.
most part, everything he said to you is true. Melvin, Andreas, and Erickson were all at the Elysium, where Geraldine was removed from the board. He was terrified by the events, and Carter has had some of his um, business dealings affected by whatever Melvin coterie are doing.
The implement lost word.
Oh.
Implicating that they were involved in Geraldine's death. Is that
that is gray. I don't know. I don't think that he believes they were responsible. But he definitely is doubtful that their hands are clean.
okay? I seem to have found myself in a new city with some interesting things going on.
I came over here before the beckoning because this was supposed to be one of the calmer places to strike out and make a living for oneself, as far as the West Coast is concerned, at least. The whole situation with the Anarch Revolt in Los Angeles just left a bad taste in my mouth, and I didn't want to go that far south. And the whole situation in Seattle was just not so uncouth that I was just like, this is a good place to kind of bed down. Um,
How long have you been here?
Almost 20 years now, a little bit over 2 decades.
And was Geraldine the prince the entire time except for recently?
So no, before Geraldine, we had a Ventru, was prince of the city.
Hmm.
He did what Ventru do. He ran a type ship. He had Primogen that we could all kind of meet with whenever we needed, and so everything was by the book. But there was some Sabbat influence in the city that was starting to creep in, mostly from down south in Los Angeles, and he handled it best he could. There was nothing like what we're seeing now: fires and bombings, Imogen ending up dead. Um, More civilized, I want to say. The beckoning happened. Geraldine took over.
Ah.
He was one of the people that had been working with the Primogen. He was being groomed by the Toreador Primogen to take her place. And when the vacuum happened, Geraldine was the quickest to respond to the situation, and the one with the wherewithal to kind of wrangle a set of Primogen together that understood what was going on, and could bounce back accordingly.
Yeah, well, I mean, when I heard that there was a Toreador as the prince, I thought, hey, that might be my kind of city. That's when I first started looking at the area, and I get here and she's already gone.
Yeah. The whole West Coast was almost completely dominated by Ventru. Luna up in Portland was a very kind individual, but his corridor very clicky. So that if you were part of the group, you were going to be very put out as far as trying to make a name for yourself. But here,
Toreador, clicky? Never.
it's such a rare thing. But Geraldine was always very inviting. She wanted people to be part of the community. She understood that one hand washes the other, and where one thrives, another can find an alley or thread to help themselves up. The rising tide lifts all ships. was good about that.
Maybe there should be more of us in charge.
I'm gonna hold back a smirk. It's a struggle.
It is.
I haven't had a chance to really get involved with our clan in this city yet. I mean, I've barely even spoken to our Primogen.
He is rather difficult to get a hold of. I am fortunate that he is a co-owner of the gallery across the street, so I get preferential treatment, as it were, because of our involvement together. But currently, because of the situation with the other Primogen, he has taken it upon himself to become a little bit harder to reach, as it were.
Understandable at the moment.
Yeah, definitely.
But if you want to know more about Geraldine, I suggest if you can get yourself across the bridge. Talking to Otis, Mr. King was one of the first coteries that she had given domain to.
I have had an opportunity to cross paths with him slightly, but
I have never had a bad interaction with him.
You know, when we first got put as a coterie, we were given a task. Do you know about that?
I don't.
We were supposed to investigate the Kuaijing, sorry.
Well, as far as I'm aware, they've taken a step back from the city, as it were.
That's what we've heard.
I want to thank Mr. Reynolds for that. He's removed one monkey off our back, but he's made himself an even bigger monkey. I don't know if the lesser of two evils is exactly the position, the card that we want to be dealt, but it's where we're looking at right now. So,
and you think he's the lesser?
Given what I've heard of the Kuaijin and what they've done with the whole northern west coast of America, I think one man with delusions of grandeur is the lesser of the evils that consists of an entire people who have had generations of preparation for this kind of gang warfare. Like, don't get me wrong. I think that if we handle Mr. Reynolds in an efficient way, they might see that sign of strength and continue to back off. But who's to say that they won't take advantage of the weakness that we find ourselves in should we not handle Mr. Reynolds the correct way?
Very true. Well, if there is anything that you or our clan needs of me, please let me know.
Of course. And I'll make sure that Mr. Gardner knows that you have an eagerness to help out as well.
And she'll look at Karl. Was there any other
So we knew about the
Mr. Nody Notes.
Yeah. That he was put in charge of last call, so he's got all the info that the Nos. Like, see if he knows anything about the Nos. You know, again, I'll ask him. We've heard you've been put in charge of the Nosferatu's former role as info gatherers. Have you heard as to any reason why they?
I am both fortunate and unfortunate that Mr. Gardner trusts me enough to put me in charge of what was the last call bar. As such, I have started to make the bridge area as much of a domain to myself as possible. So I've had to move some of my things over. As you can see, this apartment has become more sparse as of late. And he looks at Ivory and he's just like, and I do again apologize for just how bare this place is.
There is something to say for Spartanism.
Tend to agree.
Well said. But I've only just started. I've moved my ghouls over. I've got them working angles, so they've had to switch gears. And so the only thing that I can definitively say is that if Nosferatu are coming across the bridge, none of us have seen them. Any activities that has been going on with their clan has been kept to West Salem.
Okay.
Interesting. So, what are you going to do with the former last call?
I'm thinking of continuing in Mr. Garter's post path and turning it into a kind of all ages kind of arcade gaming and drinking establishment. I think the youth of today might benefit from a place that, although it leans towards a younger audience, if it caters to the more mature tastes, that they will find themselves in a place that they will want to frequent again and again.
I can see that.
Interesting.
It's a very much a 180 from being responsible for an art gallery. I can say that much.
I can imagine.
I'm starting to learn so much about what a pinball machine is.
Yes, one of my clients, I had to get one into my office because that's the only way they can think. It was very strange.
I will say that I've lost myself for some time to watching that metallic ball bounce to and fro.
The science behind it is quite simple, but very interesting.
I will have to take your word for it. I can only speak to the mesmerization of something about the lights and sound. But it definitely
is pretty.
Definitely opens up
Yes.
a side of me that hasn't been active in some time.
Always a good thing.
Agree to that.
Oh, I did want to let you know that my club will be rentable, the upper floor,
Excellent.
for different occasions. I'll have a small club up there that can be very intimate and a very large area for anything else.
I like the sound of that.
Please pass that along.
I might throw some ideas at you about a portable art installation. See if you can, if you can make that happen in the upstairs area.
It's the small intimate area is very Parisian, so something with that kind of theme.
Lovely. And you have balconies, yes?
Yes.
Excellent.
Some outdoor areas, statuary might be very nice.
You might be able to work out something in the near future then, Miss Lawson.
Excellent.
Is there anything else?
She looks at Karl.
Not at this time.
I think we're good. Thank you.
Of course. Thank
For
you
your
for
time.
popping in. Such a pleasure
Thank
to
you
meet
for your time.
a fellow clanman.
Yes.
And you, Mr. Keller, you're not Toreador, correct?
No. Come here.
I'm sure you were very bored. I'm sorry.
No. I was just running scenarios, trying to figure out if what info, if any, our host could provide us. Um,
But
but
the
no,
second you say that you're Tremere, he looks at you and goes, "Oh, perhaps then I can get your take on a situation that I've come into contact recently." Goes over and you see him pull out this very intricate glass briefcase. Um, and you see what looks to be a ripped paper from an old, unlined, what you imagine is a journal.
okay.
Um, it's a page. It looks ripped in such a way to kind of give it's triangular in shape. It kind of looks like an angel wing or kind of bird wing, um, kind of avian form. But there are 5 different looking handwritten notes um, that progressively become much more modern as they go down the page. So the first text looks very old, almost um, Latin in its origin. Uh, it is written in um, the common tongue, but it says, again, the mention of blood, hunger as a motivation, the motivating force. In this generation, they would even feed on their own. Then there is a note, the second form of writing. It says, again, this is a revelation? Question mark. The third um, uh, handwriting says, however, if you look to the later passages, they did not feed on their sires. And then the fourth um, form of handwriting says, not yet. The page itself looks faded, old, um, like it's like you could try to age it with coffee, still wouldn't get the level of age that this thing looks like it's lived through.
And is the glass case like a oh, vacuum seal kind of thing? Like
Yeah,
trying to
like
keep the air out of it?
there is a great amount of care that has been taken to holding this page, not just kind of suspended uh, by very, very pressed glass. There's been a lot of care taken to make sure that there is no way, shape, or form that air, moisture can get into facing it.
Okay. So I speak Latin and read it.
Yep.
So that part is easy. And then you said the rest is English or
Yeah.
okay.
Only the first one is in Latin. This is what can be considered English. It modernizes itself as it comes forward. So like Any F's look like long S's, things like that kind of nature. The old colonial English.
Gotcha. Is that just it on the paper? You said there's just those 5 passages or 5 sentences?
Those four
Four sentences. Any other symbols or anything arcane?
Not that you can see.
All right, I'll shift into the see the unseen, just to make sure.
Ooh. Okay. 4, which is 3.
Good.
Your 1.
You rolling or am I rolling?
I'll roll.
Okay.
Okay. There is a stain on the widest part of the page. So the base of the triangle shape. That at first looked like it was a watermark, some kind of damage that had been done. But as you look at it, it is right up vitae. This is blood with a capital B.
Kindred. Awesome. Okay. And you said there's a triangle on it?
No, that the shape is triangular. It looks like a
Oh, the
wing.
shape itself.
Yeah.
Right. The shape of the paper is like a wing.
Yeah. So on what would be the XY axis compared to the Z axis.
Okay. Anything in a cult like why it would be in the shape of a wing?
It just looks like that's how it was torn.
Oh, okay, just like it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It looks like this was torn once and then torn again.
Okay.
So somewhere in the handing down of the paper, it has seen the damage that has been done to put into this shape.
Right. Oh, I still want to touch it now.
See if you can taste it.
Right.
What could possibly go wrong?
Right? I'm sure I'll just like throw the glass down on the ground and start licking the paper. I'm sure that would freak the Toreador out sufficiently.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Both of them.
Yeah. Anything in a cult or like folklore as to like these passages? In Kindred lore even? Because obviously it talks about blood hunger.
I mean, I will let you make an intelligence and occult roll.
Okay.
I will tell you will need to get a high amount. Your difficulty pretty high for.
Yeah, it's definitely reaching. I know.
But you have willpower, so.
That's true.
How much damage you're willing to take?
The sake of knowledge.
A Tremere? Ah.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh, okay. So 3 6s, 7, 8, and 9, and 3 on the hunger die.
Okay. Almost a perfect score.
Almost. So
the way that it's written, the age of the paper, and that's that you haven't like touched it, you haven't ran it through testing.
Right.
But just from the look of it, the Kindred Vitae, there is only one thing that possibly comes to mind, given your time in the tower, given the recent break Oscarna from you. There was a chatter a while ago, especially coming from the old world, that there is supposed to be a set of texts that were collected by a Malkavian named Beckett. There is a
Gangrel?
collection of handwritten notes that were taken from different scholars that were all studying Book of Nod.
Gangrel. Is Beckett a Gangrel or a Malky?
I thought he was a Malgi.
No, he's Gangrel. At
right.
least official lore. You do whatever
Okay.
you want.
No. We'll keep him. I always thought that he was.
Nobody hung out with Anatole a lot, which Anatole is
why.
definitely Malky
That's
Central.
why. But the book in question is called the Ereses Fragments.
Okay. What? Huh? I don't know what those are.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
It's not like this little book right here.
it's not sitting on my shelf at home at all.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not within arms. Sire? What?
What? Oh,
For shame.
for shame. Okay.
Me giving magic shit to a Tremere?
Stop. Oh. All right. So obviously, fucking it clicks a bell. So I'll tell our new friend here is we'll see. Is that there's definitely more to this than meets the eye if you shift it. I don't know how proficient you are with aspects. I'm not even sure that's how vampires would refer to it precisely. But if you look into the side row or deeper into the piece, you can see that it's looks like it's stained with kindred vitae.
I did see that, yes. That was one of the main proponents for me acquiring this piece in the first place.
Yeah, I'm sure you know it looks definitely very, very, very old. I can tell because obviously you have it in a vacuum sealed case.
This is how it was given to me. This is why the main reason why I purchased the thing is because of the contraption that this exists in.
It's certainly very interesting. This contraption could not have been cheap, nor its setup uncomplicated. Especially in the 80s. I don't know how good vacuum sealing technology was in the 80s. Anyway, as far as the passages themselves, they're ringing bells, looking like they have to do with something with the Book of Nod. But I'd have to go into my lab for my research materials to confirm my other potential lines of thought. And then and that's without actually testing it at all.
Of course.
Yeah, lab materials and stuff.
Interesting.
So, if you wish, we can run it through some samples, obviously doing minimal damage as much as possible. That's where I'm at the moment.
I have Mr. Thompson coming in within the next few days to take a look at it, so I'll see what he has to say.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll have a thing or two to say for sure. He has even a vaster source of knowledge, or obviously experience than I do. So.
Sure, of course. But he extends his hand to you.
Yes, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. That was quite a thing you have there. I
didn't want to show this off just anywhere, so I'm glad that I've gotten an opinion on it. I'll make sure to keep this in my personal safe.
Definitely, this is priceless for sure.
Excellent. Quite a deal then. I think I've made.
For sure. In the back of my mind, I'm like, God damn, I want this thing. But I so don't have the resources to take it from this guy without just fucking killing him at the moment. So we'll talk. Well, that's definitely going in the to-do list. Not the killing, the acquiring.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Ivory was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, you don't get to play with it."
Yeah. Well, I want to play.
Yeah. Oh.
Why do you show me the toy and not let me play with it?
Right.
Now you know where it is.
Yep.
And now you know who has it.
Oh, Book of Nod with Kindred Blood. Oh, wow. That could be. Wow.
An Heresies fragment page.
Yep.
A fragment of a fragment.
Yep. We wanted all to be thinking about how to acquire this in multiple different angles.
Or
at least access. Technically, I don't need to own it. I need access.
correct. You have a Toreador friend.
Really? Funny enough.
You know.
Favors of favors. Wheels and wheels. We'll see.
That's how this game works, right?
Yep. But always has to end in bloodshed. We can talk amicably.
Right.
Oh, no. Toreador great at not doing bloodshed and talking it out and finding other ways.
Absolutely.
But you see him put the case very carefully on the table. Then he walks you over to the door. Well, if there's nothing else, been quite a delightful evening.
Yes, it has. And whenever you want that tour, just let me know.
Of course. I'll make sure that
And
one of
maybe
my
we
ghouls
can-
calls you.
Maybe we can have your ghoul call my ghoul.
Yeah.
Perhaps we can find some spaces for some of your art pieces.
Perfect. I like that very
Yes.
much.
Please let me know once my Primogen has had a look at it, and maybe we can all collaborate and find more detail on this, on your treasure.
Of course. I will let you know once I'm given a clean bill of health for this page.
Good. All right.
He opens the door, lets you out,
Thank you so much.
and he stays there. But as you go downstairs, Billy opens the door for you guys. Anyone in particular, ma'am? It's almost 3.
I can't think of anything else. You?
No, not at the moment. I think the next person is Melvin, but I don't want to track him down today at 3 in the fucking morning.
Well, not only that, but he seems a little occupied.
Right, precisely. So need to at least see where. I don't want to run into a psycho, pissed off vampire at the moment. So
No, there's definitely something going on with him if he has switched sides.
right, also part of the problem.
We need to be a little more cautious about it, I think.
Definitely.
So, where would you like Billy to drop you?
My lab is fine.
Very well, Mr. Keller.
And I'm going to spend the rest of the evening mixing up some acid bombs and stuff. So if we're going to go into battle, I need to be prepared science-wise.
Who are you going to go into battle with?
I don't know. If fucking Melvin's going to go freak out on us, I don't know. I want to throw something at him. But I don't want that to be the first resort. But if Psycho Boy is going crazy, I don't want to be caught with a gun against a vampire. Because that clearly didn't work against a damn ghoul, and I don't got anything else really at the moment.
Okay.
So let's play to my strengths. I got science on my side. Let's play.
Okay. So you're gonna start building acid bombs.
Yep.
Do you guys go back to the club, or do you go back to your haven?
Actually, I'm going to go back to the club in case Kathy comes back.
Okay.
And she'd probably check on the room.
Yeah. Before daybreak, like literally minutes before, you can start to feel the body tense up and rigor mortis start to set in. You can see her sauntering into the place, and just kind of gives you a nod curtly and walks into her room. And before the door closes to her room, there is this same feeling of coldness that kind of permeates the whole of the bar itself.
She's gonna haunt your fucking bar with her fucking brother or whatever.
But
Since he ran the last time, she's not going to try and find him. But she definitely notices.
yeah, if you try to look for him, um, he will not be running anymore. Like he will be looking around, almost like somebody trying to find something of meaning. Uh, then there's a moment where you see him just kind of find one piece of artistic uh, kind of accoutrement or uh, design in the architecture, and you see him just kind of melt into it.
See, told you.
Okay.
Ghosts are not terrible people, bro.
Not necessarily.
They're
Yeah,
shadows.
Ghost
but
does not
they're
mean poltergeist, but
no, but
you
they're
know,
bad for business, I imagine. Unless they're apparently this guy, unless you could store that thing in the fridge.
Kindred don't care.
No,
Actually,
that's
having
true.
it cooler in a club isn't terrible.
That's true. That's fair.
Yeah. But
Save on electricity.
as you
Yeah.
guys bed down for the night, I think this is a good place to call it. So, as always, thank you for being a part of this. It's good to get back into it. I feel so much better that I don't have to worry about some parts of my tech anymore.
Yes.
So there's that. And as always, I want to give you guys a chance to plug anything that you're doing. So, Ivory, where can people find you and what are you up to on the internet?
You can find me in most places under Lockgen or Lockgen1, the number one, on Twitch and Instagram and various places.
Right? And Karl, where can people find you and what are you up to on the internet?
So mostly messing around on Movie Bros. We just should have another episode dropped where we reviewed Nope and Yes Man. So we did that. You can generally find me on Twitter and Instagram at Xanaficus. And I'm also going to plug my computer business at
Do it.
Dragonfire Tech MIA. I'm starting to ramp that up a bit, doing repairs and upgrades as needed.
Nice.
And good.
Okay. As always, thank you guys for being a part of us. We couldn't do this without you. Mondays are for Vampire the Masquerade, so it's a two-part story. One campaign follows the Camarilla crew that you saw tonight, and the other campaign follows an Anarch group that you see every other Monday. Tuesdays are for Werewolf the Wild West or Legend of the Five Rings. It's two different stories running concurrently, and every other Thursday we do Seventh Sea, which just started, and it feels like March has been a cursed month for that game, but we will be trying to get those episodes out to you as much as possible. As always, you can catch us here. You might be able to catch us in a little bit over on McStabber Studios as they are going to be running a very interesting Vampire the Masquerade game on Wednesdays that I'm going to be a part of. And then June, we'll be bringing back the second season of Dune from Modifius Games, which I have quickly fallen in love with their 2D20 system. So be on the lookout for that. As always, we take mental health on the channel very seriously, so be aware that it is okay to not be okay. But if you need help, there are resources that you can reach out to. If you're watching live on Twitch, they'll be in the Twitch chat. If you're watching on YouTube, it'll be in the description box. There are phone numbers that you can call to reach out and ask for help because there should be no shame in it. Some of us have had to deal with dark issues and to fight our own demons. And there's help out there. You know, people want to help you, and there are resources out there for you to find that help. If you're not in the United States, there's a link going up as well, so you can find the resources nearest you in the area of the world that you're living in. Just be aware that there are resources out there, so you don't need to fight these things on your own. You don't need to feel like you're alone. There's somebody out there that is wanting to help you and that is willing to help you. So please, if you feel like you need to reach out, reach out. There's no shame in it. As always, thank you for being part of this. Thank you guys for participating and for following in this crazy story as we see a war of princes starting to bubble over. Um, and as always, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we will see you when we see you. Please have a good night.
Good.